Here I am in Calgary. I have a little bit of time before my flight over to the UK, and I thought it would be a great time to share about the very first webinar for this coaching school. There was a really key component that came up that has stuck with me ever since I heard it. I think I heard that louder than anything else in the webinar. Came up in the form of a question. The question was, for the people that are returning to the school, how do we show up in a way that isn't like I've already heard this before? The answer to the question was, show up empty. Show up as if you don't know anything. And that really spoke to me in a way that was pretty powerful, because being someone that grew up in an education system as dyslexic or as having ADD, I really didn't have too much fun in school at all. I'm passionate about my work as a coach, and I have a lot of fun doing it. And I really love the material that I get to read. And how this all sort of equates together for something called transformation. It's really interesting what happens when we show up empty, or when I show up empty, or as though I don't know anything. When I showed up in school as a little kid, I felt like in some ways how that was always being affirmed in class when I would hear other kids give answers that I just simply didn't have. Makes me wonder how it would have been if I intentionally showed up to school as if I didn't know anything. Showing up empty and not trying to be full. Because then I get to create myself as who I'm listening as. Am I listening as someone that already knows this? Or am I listening as a sponge? Receptivity. Am I listening from this place of receptivity, as if I don't know anything? The amount of emotion that was stimulated in me as a kid because I felt like I didn't know anything was intense. And now I get to go to school as if I don't know anything. There's just something fun about that. That's why I love this profession so much, because we get to create from a blank slate. Even as a student, I get to create myself as someone that doesn't know anything from a blank slate, so that I'm willing and ready to learn. I'm open to receptivity as a student. I'm not listening from the place of, I may have already heard this before, so I don't need to listen as well. Even if I've already heard this before, there is gold sprinkled all over this, because there's another part of me, a person that's shifted from the way that I was a year ago, that's listening to this in a totally different way.